You are welcome to today's lecture under the Use of English series for JAMB UTME, episode 18. And today our topic is few and little. Both of these are some irregular forms that cause difficulties in JAMB UTME and WAEC. So we are treating it right away. Do not forget to enable full screen in your device by tapping on the icon located at this place to enjoy the maximum viewers experience. Do not forget also to make notes as you take this lecture for your subsequent revision. Without wasting much of our time, let's head straight into the lecture outline. Forms of few and little. How to properly use few and little in sentences with examples. Practice exercises from WAEC and JAMB/answers. Quick recap of this lecture. You will learn the above in the lecture, and I wish you good luck. Few and little. A few is positive in meaning. A few is positive in meaning, while a little is also positive in meaning. A few is positive in meaning. A little is also positive in meaning. A few. A few. Look out for the color codings. A few, a little, both of them are positive in meaning. Meaning that when we use these positive ones, we mean we can still help. So when you use them, it shows that you can still help. You can still afford to help. You can still show help. You can still give. You can still do. A few, a and little, only these two forms are positive in meaning. So when you use them, it shows you can still help. You can still do. You can still carry on. You can still continue depending on the specific example. Let's see the examples next. The first example we have here is I have a few apples left. I have a few apples left. What does this statement mean because of this a few? This means that I can afford to give you apples. So this person can afford to give you some apple. This person can afford to spare some apple, to give out some apple because a few was used. The second example we have here is I have a little sugar in my container. I have a little sugar in my container. Nigerian students in the university or in the higher institution will relate to this. I have a little sugar in my container. What does this statement mean? It means that this fellow can afford to give you sugar, can afford to lend some sugar, can afford to give out some sugar, can afford to spare some sugar because of this form, a little. So let's look at the contrast of this, the complete opposite of this. We use few. Take note of the color codings. We use few for, you see that the a little and a few was brightly colored. This one has a dead color. We use few, that's few alone. No a, nothing, just only few. It also has other forms, but we are going to talk about that as we carry on with the lecture. We use few for countable nouns. Few, this few form is used for countable nouns. Countable nouns, things that can be counted. If you are not taking my lecture on nouns, do well to look for my lecture on nouns under this series and take it to have a smoother understanding of this lecture. We use few for countable nouns. For example, I have a few oranges left. You can see that the noun here, the noun that this few is qualifying, is what? A countable noun. It's countable. Orange is a countable noun. You don't use few for an uncountable noun. You can't say I have few water left. That's wrong. Only for countable noun, few. Let's look at the next. We use little for uncountable nouns. Little now, little form. Anything that you have little inside, little, this little. We use little for uncountable nouns. For example, I have a little fuel left. You can see the noun here, uncountable noun. Fuel is an uncountable noun, or fuel is an uncountable noun. I have a little fuel left. I have a little fuel left. We use little for uncountable noun. So we can't say I have few fuel left. It becomes wrong. Moving on. Take note of what we have here. You can see the color codings. Take note of the color codings too. They are all color coded with red. Few, very few, just a few, and only a few are all negative in meaning. So just have it in mind, a form of few that is positive in meaning only is a few. Only a few is positive in meaning. Then the rest, few, very few, just a few, only a few are all negative in meaning. Same as little, very little, just a little, and only a little are all negative in meaning too. Same thing, a little and a few are what? Positive in meaning. And when you say they are positive in meaning, it means that when you use them, you can afford to help, you can afford to spare, you can afford to give out, the fellow can afford to do. But when you use the negative ones, it means that you can't afford to do, you can't afford to spare, you can't give, you can't help. So a little and a few are the only positive in meaning forms, while the rest, little, very little, just a little, only a little are all negative forms. Moving on. When we use the negative forms, it means we cannot, you can see color coded with red, cannot afford to help. For example, I have little fuel left in my tank. this little here is telling us that this person can't help. This means that I can't afford to take you home. I can't help. I can't lend you an assistant hand. I can't lift you with my car because I have little fuel left. Negative form. The second example we have here is I have few oranges with me. Notice that the few are used for countable nouns. The little are used for uncountable nouns. Can you see? Little used for fuel, uncountable noun. Few used for countable noun. Oranges. So the example, I have few oranges with me. So what does this mean? This means that I can't afford to give you oranges. I can't afford to spare any. I can't afford to give any. I can't afford to help you with oranges because of this form, few. With this, we have come to the end of few and little. Let's take some exercises to test our knowledge. These questions was brought from JAMB UTME 1990/2020. The instruction says, pick the most appropriate alternative that completes the gap. Number 1, if you find dash books on the table, bring me dash. If you find dash books on the table, bring me dash. A, some/some. B, any/any. C, some/any. D, any/some. What's your answer? If you find dash book on the table, bring me dash. You answered right. The correct option is C, some/any. If you find some books on the table, bring me any. Number 2, I couldn't wash your car because there was dash water left. I couldn't wash your car because there was dash water left. A few. B, a little. C, little. D, much. What's your answer? I couldn't wash your car because there was dash water left. You answered right. The correct option is C, little. I couldn't wash your car because there was little water left. Number 3, I can still lend you dash money. I can still lend you dash money. A, any. B, some. C, many. D, so much. What's your answer? I can still lend you dash money. You answered right. The correct option is B, some. I can still lend you some money. Number 4, I can help you. I have dash time left. I can help you. I have dash time left. A, little. B, a few. C, few. D, a little. What's your answer? I can still help you. I have dash time left. You answered right. The correct option is D, a little. I can still help you. I have a little time left. These are the answers. What did you score? A quick recap of this lecture says positive forms of few and little include a few and a little. Take note of the color codings. Negative forms of few and little include few, very few, just a few, and only a few. All the forms apart from a few are negative. Then for the little, the negative form include little, very little, just a little, and only a little. All forms apart from a little are all negative forms. Only the positive forms are a little and a few. When we use these positive ones, we mean we can still help. When we use these negative ones, it means we cannot afford to help. Thank you so much for taking this lecture, and I hope you understood every part of the lecture and also made your notes for your subsequent revision. Do not forget to subscribe and follow for more at Nkwado Augustine across all social media platforms. Do you have any question on Knowledge Gap? Do well to drop your questions and Knowledge Gap in the comments, and I will do justice to your questions on Knowledge Gap. At this point, I'm out.